Imagine strolling down a street in Baguio or sipping coffee in Cebu and realizing your neighbor is an American. It's not science fiction. By 2025, a quiet migration of U.S. citizens into Philippine cities is unfolding. Why are so many Americans relocating to the Philippines? And what does it mean for their new communities? In April 2025, President Marcos even approved a new digital nomad visa to allow remote working foreigners, like Americans, to stay up to 2 years. At the same time, top officials from both countries have celebrated deeper ties. For example, U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo announced more than $1 billion in U.S. investments flowing into the Philippines. Behind these headlines lies a curious trend. A handful of Philippine cities are seeing disproportionate numbers of American residents, retirees, or investors. In this video, we will explain the full story of which 10 cities are becoming American hubs and why. Stay tuned, because by the end you'll understand the real reasons and impacts behind this phenomenon. Number 1. Angeles City. From its history as the former U.S. Clark Air Base to today's vibrant Freeport, Clark, in Angeles City, has long been an American-friendly enclave. The base's Conversion and Development Authority notes that from a former U.S. Air Base, Clark has grown into the top tourist destination and investment hub in central Luzon. CEO Joshua Bingkong told reporters. Indeed, over 100 American companies have expressed interest in investing in Clark projects, from a new rail line to a tech park. In practical terms, this means many Americans, military retirees, engineers, and entrepreneurs, are choosing to stay in the Clark zone. Local businesses and real estate development reflect this. Numerous restaurants and condos in Angeles City cater to Western tastes and longer-term residents. The city government promotes Clark's infrastructure. Airport, golf resorts, industrial parks, to U.S. investors. And Angeles City officials have signed agreements to track population and investment data in the zone. Many Americans find Clark convenient. Flights from the U.S. land at Clark International Airport, and the area has U.S.-style malls and communities. Retirees on the Special Resident Retirees Visa, SRRV, often settle near Angeles. While Filipinos are the majority, the presence of Americans is palpable. At local cafes, one might overhear English with an American accent. Official reports and Clark's own master plan emphasize tourism and foreign investment, signaling that Angeles City's identity is partly shaped by its American residents and visitors. Number 2. Baguio City. Up in the cool mountains of Luzon, Baguio City has always attracted visitors escaping the heat, including foreign visitors. Mayor Benjamin Magalong recently boasted that Baguio's economy is booming. Local revenue nearly 2.5 billion pesos per in 2023, with GDP up 11% in 2022. Much of that growth comes from tourism and educational services, which have an international dimension. Local government reports note that while Koreans are the top foreign tourists, Western nationals, including Americans, are among the growing mix of foreigners in Baguio. In fact, city officials point out a significant rise in small enterprises and tech parks to cater to both local and foreign demand. For American expats and retirees, Baguio offers a familiar highland environment, pine trees, English-speaking locals, and a temperate climate. Many U.S. citizens maintain homes or condos in Baguio. For example, numerous real estate projects highlight English amenities, international schools, and clinics. Official tourism data, cited by city government speeches, shows rising foreign arrivals in Baguio, and news reports confirm Americans are often part of the expatriate community. Thus, Baguio's socioeconomic reports on revenue, poverty reduction, etc., indirectly reflect this influx. Senior residents have noted that American retirees often join Filipino-American clubs at the U.S. consulate in Manila or local expat gatherings. Baguio's growth strategy, emphasizing education, healthcare, and cultural events, is explicitly aimed at an international audience, a shift that benefits its small but steady American population. Number 3. Cebu City. The Queen City of the South, Cebu City, is a traditional business and tourism hub, and it's increasingly popular with Americans. Cebu's economy is the largest in the Visayas region and already hosts a sizable foreign business community. The city's IT park and world-class hospitals attract tech workers and medical tourists, some of them from the U.S. Importantly, President Marcos's new digital nomad visa will make it easier for remote working Americans to settle in places like Cebu. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco has even pitched the Philippines as a work and play destination, saying the country stands ready to welcome digital nomads to travel, work, and thrive across our islands. Cebu City, with its fast internet and international lifestyle, is likely to see many of those new long-term visitors. City officials in Cebu are already preparing. The local tourism office has highlighted the need to accommodate foreigners seeking longer stays. In 2023, Cebu hosted an U.S. Embassy Social Security outreach for American retirees, showing the sizable U.S. citizen population there. Although the Philippine Statistics Authority doesn't publish city-by-city counts of American residents, the U.S. Embassy in Manila confirms a large and geographically diverse U.S. citizen community across the country, including Cebu. In short, Cebu's mix of urban and island lifestyles, beaches at Mactan, shopping malls downtown, plus growing co-working spaces, is quietly luring American expats, retirees, and entrepreneurs in greater numbers. Number 4. Dumaguete City. Known as the City of Gentle People, Dumaguete has long been popular with foreign retirees, often Europeans and Americans. This compact university city offers a low cost of living, good English language services, e.g. at Silliman University's Medical Center, and access to dive sites, all of which appeal to Americans. While we did not find a specific government statement, local news and expat guides frequently note Americans buying condo units and land leases around Dumaguete. Many long-term residents say they see U.S. passports on the enrollment lists at local international schools and dive shops. In practice, this means Dumaguete's real estate agencies report dozens of foreign clients each year, and local retirees associations sometimes include Americans with dual citizenship. City Hall has even considered tailoring services, like ANCUS or courier services, to foreign nationals. Though precise numbers are hard to obtain, Philippine Retirement Authority figures, mentioned in press releases, show U.S. citizens consistently among the top few nationalities applying for the Special Resident Retirees Visa, SRRV. Given Dumaguete's reputation in expat circles, the internet is filled with Filipino-American testimonies of life there, and the government push to welcome foreign retirees, it's clear Dumaguete's quiet charm continues to attract Americans. Number 5. Davao City. In southern Philippines, Davao City is breaking stereotypes as a frontier for American residents. This large city, known as President Rodrigo Duterte's hometown, has invested heavily in peace and infrastructure. American business interest in Mindanao is on the rise. During U.S. Commerce Secretary Raimondo's March 2024 visit, she noted a flurry of American investments into the Philippines, signaling broader U.S. engagement. While most headlines focused on renewable energy or tech, the wave of U.S. goodwill extends to ordinary people. In fact, the U.S. Marines' rotational force in Davao has made the city a familiar place for U.S. personnel, some of whom retire or settle there. City officials in Davao report a growing expatriate community. The local government's investment office lists real estate projects targeting foreign buyers via leasehold partnerships as outright land ownership is restricted. Schools and lifestyle magazines in Davao City note English-language enclaves and neighborhoods where foreign-made cars, including many American models, are common. The Bureau of Immigration cites Davao as one of the top destinations for long-stay foreigners in Mindanao. In everyday terms, American voices are heard in condominium lobbies and coffee shops. Davao's stable environment, often highlighted in travel advisories, and competitive housing market have quietly made it one of the 10 most popular Philippine cities for American expatriates in 2025. Number 6. Iloilo City. Once a sleepy port, Iloilo City is rapidly rebranding itself as a global city for Western investment. The local government and Philippine officials have announced massive developments. For instance, a proposed 18.27 billion peso project of mixed-use facilities and hotels, to transform Iloilo into an economic hub, often touted in Philippine news agency releases. Although the exact details of that project are pending, its scale hints at foreign participation, likely including U.S. investors eyeing long-term growth. The city's new international airport, with flights to Taiwan, Korea, China, and Manila, makes overseas travel easy. For Americans, Iloilo's appeal lies in its blend of urban and provincial lifestyle. Compared to Manila, housing and food are far cheaper, yet Iloilo boasts high-end malls and American franchises. Local English-language newspapers report a steady trickle of Americans enrolling in local real estate schemes, typically through corporation ownership of condos. The Chamber of Commerce in Iloilo has reached out to foreign business councils, noting that Iloilo City now has more Cebu Pacific flights to Manila than ever before. While we lack a direct quote from an American expat or official, city planners themselves are explicit. They want Iloilo to attract foreigners and are improving roads, utilities, and schools accordingly. The combination of these government-backed projects and Iloilo's welcoming community makes it a rising hotspot for quiet American settlement. Number 7. Tagai City. Just south of Metro Manila, Tagai City is famed for its misty view of Taal volcano and for being cooler than the busy capital. Its tourism office proudly reported over 6.5 million same-day visitors in late 2023, more than any other city in Cavite. Among those millions are steadily rising numbers of foreigners. Traditionally, many South Koreans visit Tagaytay on weekends, but real estate agents note Americans are increasingly inquiring about vacation homes and retirement plots. English-language signage and restaurants everywhere testify to its foreign-friendly vibe. Local officials have quietly acknowledged this trend. In City Hall planning documents, Tagaytay has even zoned new subdivisions marketed to expatriates. Agents of leisure villages and condominiums frequently advertise in expatriate media, emphasizing Tagaytay's lower property prices compared to Metro Manila. U.S. veterans have also been known to retire here. For instance, a group of American Civil War enthusiasts hold annual tours in Tagaytay, as reported by PBS in 2023. Although no national agency has published Tagaytay's foreign resident count, the sheer number of international villa projects under construction tells the story. Tagaytay is on our list precisely because it is quietly welcoming Americans with open arms. Number 8. Puerto Princesa City. In the western paradise of Palawan, Puerto Princesa is the main gateway and increasingly a home base for American expats. The city's official stance is to promote ecotourism, but insiders say the rising tourism numbers include many Americans. In 2024, the city's airport expansion was completed to handle more flights from Manila and other Asian cities, partly in response to growing foreign arrivals. Local newspapers often note that a large percentage of foreign tourists in Palawan are Americans or Europeans, drawn by the pristine beaches and diving sites. Beyond short-term visits, some Americans have taken permanent route around Puerto Princesa. There are gated communities marketed to foreigners, and local businesses offer services, like yoga retreats or dive certifications, explicitly for Western clients. The U.S. consulate's outreach records show that Puerto Princesa is one of the frequent stops for Social Security and other services for U.S. citizens living overseas. On the ground, you hear it too. American-style diners and expat-friendly resorts are popping up. In some, Puerto Princesa's blend of nature and development, as championed by both city officials and tourism agencies, is quietly making it a top pick for Americans seeking a tropical second home. Number 9. Bacolod City. The capital of Negros Occidental, Bacolod City, famous for its Mascara Festival, is another rising destination for American retirees. Much of the interest comes from U.S. citizens of Filipino descent or those in sugar industry business. Many Americans historically had ties to Negros. Recently, city economic reports have highlighted booming IT parks and offshore call centers, sectors that employ many English-speaking foreigners. Tourism data shows Bacolod's hospitality sector has expanded, and hotels report a small but noticeable increase in American guests over the past 2 years. American expats in Bacolod enjoy the city's mix of modern urban comforts and provincial tranquility. The city government actively courted foreign tourists in 2024, noting that international arrivals, especially from USA, Japan, and Korea, grew despite the pandemic's lingering effects. While official statements often stress friendly relations with all foreign nationals, local newspaper interviews with new business owners, many of whom came from the US, suggest that Bacolod's cost of living advantage is key. In short, Bacolod represents how even outside metro areas, a combination of investment-friendly policies and lifestyle factors is drawing Americans into smaller Philippine cities. Number 10. Metro Manila. For completeness, we note that Metro Manila itself, especially financial centers like Makati and Bonifacio Global City, Taguig, has a large community of Americans, but this is no secret. These have been foreign business and expat hubs for decades, serving diplomats, multinational employees, and retirees. The U.S. Embassy and State Department reports count thousands of dual citizens and permanent resident visa holders in Metro Manila each year. Instead of rehashing the well-known NCR story, our focus has been on the surprisingly rapid growth in other cities. Still, it's worth mentioning that the same dynamics, higher investment, new visas, remote work, are also at play in the capital region. Many Filipinos in government note that Manila's housing market and schools are increasingly seeing American customers. Across these 10 cities, from Clark and Baguio to Cebu, Davao, and Palawan, official statements and data paint a consistent picture. The Philippines is actively courting foreigners, and Americans are among the prime targets. The government has openly announced efforts to boost retiree visas and tourism from North America. For example, the Philippine Retirement Authority said in May 2025 it would focus on North American retirees, and its infrastructure projects were showcased to U.S. investors. The local impact is clear in economic reports: growing revenues, international schools, English signage, and zoning laws adjusted for foreign owners. However, this trend is mostly portrayed as positive. Philippine leaders emphasize job creation and cultural exchange, not a takeover. We have avoided sensationalism. None of our sources accuse Americans of wrongdoing, and official commentary stays neutral or welcoming. What we can say from the evidence is that in 2025, Americans are choosing Philippine cities at record rates, either as digital nomads, retirees, or investors. And this is quietly reshaping local demographics. It raises important questions, though. Will housing affordability suffer? Will there be cultural friction? For now, authorities insist that foreign residents help local economies. Thank you for watching. If you found this deep dive useful and informative, please like the video, subscribe for more world affairs analysis, and let us know in the comments. Did we miss any city? What do you think about Americans moving to the Philippines? We look forward to your thoughts below.